This is the Women's Hockey Life Podcast, University Edition.
Welcome back to the Women's Hockey Life Podcast, University Edition. Today, we have grad student defenseman from the University of Waterloo, Carley Olivier. Welcome. Thrilled to have you join us. I know how busy life can be as a student athlete, so thank you for taking the time. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I just want to say thank you for having me. It's a nice relaxing day for me, a nice Tuesday, no school. So yeah, excited to get things started.
Yeah, we were chatting a bit before and you were saying what, only Monday, Wednesdays you have class right now?
Yeah, only Mondays, Wednesdays, but they're pretty packed days. So I'm at school all day, on top of practice and working out and everything. So but yeah, it's nice to have a couple days off during the week to just kind of either work or catch up on some homework.
Regroup, maybe you have a little bit of a social life, something like that.
Yeah,
you know?
maybe.
What's that like? Hold on a second, right? But yeah, I would love if you could just give a quick little background on you, where you grew up, who you played for, just so our listeners can kind of understand the path, the journey, which we will definitely explore throughout this conversation. But yeah, a little bit of background.
Nice. Well, my name's Carley. I'm from Sudbury, Ontario. Yeah, I grew up playing for the Sudbury Lady Wolves, and from there I went on to play at the University of Connecticut and at Laurentian University, and now I found my home at the University of Waterloo to play my final year of eligibility. So yeah, I'm getting up there. I'm old, but still loving it.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with extending the career, whether it's transferring. COVID played an impact, I know, with that and whatnot, but from what I understand, you started playing at a young age. You were what, 3, 4?
Yeah, I was around 3 or 4 years old. I actually hated hockey at first. I was a very shy little girl, and I used to cry and cry when my parents used to leave me to go sit up in the stands. But eventually that wore off, and here I am. So
Love it. How did you get into it? Do you have siblings that played? Was it parent influenced?
I would say I come from a hockey family and a really big hockey community. So it's just something that's been a part of everybody really that I know's life. And yeah, I would say my dad had probably the greatest influence, just kind of throwing me in a pair of skates. But yeah.
I love that. Assuming you played on some outdoor rinks, outdoor ponds.
Yeah, a lot of outdoor rinks with my dad when I was younger, and of course with some friends as I grew up. But yeah.
I love that. I love it. And what is it about the game that you love? Like, if you look back to those early moments playing to now, or is there a common theme about hockey that you love?
Looking back, I would say always being part of a team is something that I love. I wasn't the most outgoing person growing up or a young kid growing up, but I knew going to the rink, I would I could always see my friends and have fun with them. And for me now, as I grew up, it's more of I would say an escape, no matter what, especially in university. If I'm having the busiest day ever, I know I can look forward to an hour or two off a day to just have fun and be with my friends and skate on the ice. So yeah.
Which is what it's about, right? Letting loose, having fun. It's like a safe place. You just forget about everything going on in the classroom, outside of the rink, and you let loose.
Yeah, super fun. And it's just led to so many great opportunities too. If you think education wise, and as you're growing up and hockey kind of gets more serious, and you really kind of take it under your belt and say, this is what I want to do, and a lot of doors open. It just leads to so many great avenues. So
absolutely. And obviously growing up in Sudbury, guessing you had to do some traveling to either get that exposure to be seen by these universities, these colleges. Talk to me a bit about your personal recruiting process. Obviously, you just said, we mentioned you went to UConn first in the US.
Yeah.
Obviously went back to Laurentian. Things went down there, and then now you're at Waterloo. So can you go back to your high school years and remember what that process was like for you?
Yeah. So yeah, definitely a lot of traveling growing up. Northern communities don't really have a lot of girls hockey association, so there's no teams to play against other than your local teams or even playing against the boys. We always played against the boys growing up. In my first and only year of midget hockey, I don't know what it's called now, I think it's U18, but playing in my first year in Sudbury, in my midget year, we actually transferred to like the Lower Lakes division. So we actually had to travel. Our home rink was actually 2 hours away. So it was a very long and draining year, but yeah, I'd say like that's where it really started. Teams reaching out, everything like that. The following year, though, I did make the jump to the PWHL. So I did come play for the Kitchener-Waterloo Rangers. Just being a kid from the north, there's not much exposure out there. So most girls that want to pursue their hockey dreams tend to move to play at a higher level, and so that's what I did. And yeah, the recruiting process just kind of escalated from there, and I committed in my grade 11 years, so to the University of Connecticut. And yeah, very long process, but very fun. It was so nice to see so many of my friends also commit, and it was nice to know that I was playing at a level where everyone was trying to achieve, or mostly everyone was trying to achieve the same goals.
Absolutely. That helps, right? That always helps when
Yeah.
The same like-minded people on a team and everyone's got the same ambitions and goals, and it translates on the ice and whatnot. But I gotta ask, I'm a UConn alum myself. Coach.
Yes, I remember. When I saw the email, I was like, I know this name from somewhere.
I probably sent you some emails, but back in the day, because yeah, you've had what, a 5-6 year career now from beginning to end and whatnot. And I'm like, I know her name too. I'm like, I recruited her.
Yeah, I was like, man, that's so long ago. Sorry.
You are so popular.
Yeah. Work.
Managing again, student athlete, right? Work,
yeah.
Hockey, academics. It's nonstop. So let's talk about committing to UConn, going to UConn. Left UConn for personal reasons. Wasn't anything with the school or the hockey, nothing. It was personal, and then you ended up finding the University of Waterloo.
Yeah.
Love, and you're having a great experience, right?
Yeah.
So it's everything does truly happen for a reason, and as long as you can keep that mindset and understand that, so many doors can open, right?
Yeah, and especially at first when everyone's like, "Oh, like why are you transferring schools so much?" Like whatever, and it was hard to, like not wanting to out myself for like my own my personal experiences, but just kind of play like I didn't know how to make them understand that I just wasn't happy, and there was so much more to it than that they knew. But anyway,
but that's not to cut you off, but that's such I think you just hit a golden nugget. I don't even know if that's the right expression. I'm not really good at those to learn that, but it's trusting and following your own process, and like putting on the earmuffs and ignoring everybody else who are like, what are you doing? When you're like, this is for me.
Yeah.
I just want to be happy. And the University of Waterloo has given that to you. And I think it's such an important lesson for anybody listening, or just in general, to always follow your intuition, always follow your gut, trust that what you're feeling and what you're thinking is real to you. And just because it's not real to others or they can't understand you, you got to ignore that. Yeah. Otherwise, you're going to be unhappy and you're just going to be people pleasing the rest of your life.
Yeah. So I decided, like, mom and dad obviously weren't super thrilled when I told them that I wanted to leave again, and just because I was bouncing back and forth so much. But like making them, like, I spent a lot of time trying to explain myself and making them realize, but at the end of the day, it really didn't. The only person that it matters to is me. So, yeah, but now they're happy and everyone's happy. But
it worked out.
Yeah, for sure.
Carley, you're unbelievable. I know, like, I know you from recruiting, but like, just talking to you now, I'm like, you're so strong and so powerful. Like, for you to be able to stand in your truth and speak your truth and go on this journey for you, and have people kind of like yapping in your ear, saying all the things you're doing wrong. And now you're sitting here today and everything worked out.
Yep. I'm,
Unbelievable. You need to
yeah,
pat yourself on the back a little bit more, I think.
I know. But
Really, that's
yeah,
amazing. I'm proud of you.
thank you. Well, that's a little bit about me, I guess, in my university experience. I'm not,
All right, so you're decent at hockey, you're okay. You're okay. I'm kidding. You're unbelievable. You were just named the OUA Defender of the Year last year, first team All-Star. What do you believe attributed to your success in getting those accolades and just being who you are?
um, last year, well, honestly, I'm going to go as far to say as I think like our COVID year really had a really big impact on my play last year and moving forward. Um, Having a year off hockey really makes you, well, having a year off hockey, having a year that you physically cannot go into an ice rink
Literally.
and, do what you love, like really, I think for many, like impacted a lot of people in the sense that they missed what they love to do. And I honestly think that I missed it so much that when I got back on the ice, it was, it was just more fun, to be honest. And it's more fun. It felt light. And then, like being part of a team that really embodies like culture and family and all this, and having coaches, that lift you up and who are always there willing to, give you subtle criticisms or, um, or, boost your confidence and stuff like that. Like for me, I struggled with my confidence for a really long time. I still do, but I'm thankful that I'm part of a team and part of a culture that allows me to kind of work through it and to build it. I had another, when I was reading your questions, I wanted to say something else about this, but I can't remember.
Let me ask you something, because you just said something that I think will and does resonate with a lot of hockey players or people in general, of confidence.
Yeah.
And yes, it's so helpful to have coaches that can help you build that. And you said that they have and whatnot, but like, how have you built that confidence?
I think, I think this is what I wanted to say actually.
Me?
So perfect. For me, like last year, for instance, when the season started, I always try and set myself little goals, like reasonable goals that I can achieve. So whether it's in practice, like just jotting down 3 things that I want to work on. And if I can successfully do them in a practice, that's like a win for me. So I feel like every time I check something off my list or I feel like I've improved at something, it just really helps me like settle in and lean into my skills. Like we actually have a mental health coach, sports psych coach here, and she always uses that term, leaning into your skill. And so I really think that those things, like doing those little things, really helps me get where I want to be, and to really focus on really the thing that's in front of you, the little things, and just trying to do those little things to the best of my ability, I guess, is what it comes down to.
So I'm going to put words in your mouth, and correct me if I'm wrong, just to give actual concrete examples for anybody listening. Like as a defenseman, maybe it's making a good breakout pass.
Yeah, like especially in practice, like those are some of the things I always try and think of 3 things that I want to work on. So whether it's making a good first pass or really working on my gap or hitting the net, for instance, I'm only going to miss the net 3 times in practice today. So little things like that. It can be quirky and funny, or it can be really serious. So those little things really help me.
And if you are missing the net, though, if it's a shot from the point, you're missing the net, it's on that forward to deflect it towards the net.
Yeah, it's not my fault anyway.
There's nothing to do with you missing the net. You strategically place it outside of the
always,
so that they can deflect it and throw the goalie off.
Come on. Always. Yeah. What's a go-to?
Exactly. No, but I think that's so important. The confidence piece it's always has to come internally. Obviously, you can get it externally from coaches and everything else, but like if you don't believe in yourself, then there's only so much other people can do. So it's setting these small goals that are like a good breakout pass, shots through the net, like working on your gap control. Like those are little things that will and do, and you can speak to it, build confidence. 'Cause you're like, okay,
Yeah.
I got this. I got burned 7 times, but now I'm starting to understand what I need to do with that gap control, right?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
awesome. No, I love that. I love that. So you're majoring in kinesiology.
Yes, I am.
How has it been managing academics? Obviously, work is still calling you.
Yeah.
Hockey, like, how is that, and how have you managed your time?
Um, I would say like this year has been quite an adjustment in terms of pursuing grad studies. Although I'm only in class Mondays and Wednesdays, the workload is definitely higher, and there's I'd say like a lot more content. Um, so coming from an undergrad in health sciences, I'm transitioning to kinesiology. So I feel like I'm kind of doing double the work right now. So it's been, honestly, I'd say I'm past the hard part now, in the term, and it's slowly getting easier, but it was definitely an adjustment. Um, with hockey, like Mondays and Wednesdays, I spend most of my days on like my entire day on campus just with school and everything. So it does get a little bit tiring, but like I said earlier in the interview, that I can always look forward to that 1 hour of just, it's kind of like me time. And then when I go home, I eat dinner, and then maybe I hit the books or something again. But um, yeah, I don't know how to speak on this anymore because I'm just so used to it. I think just having,
For you, right? It's normal. So
yeah, it's normal. Like I'm scared for when I don't play hockey anymore, how I'm gonna handle having all this time on my hands because I feel like I have none right now, but in a good way, I would say. I like having a routine. I'm a very structured person, very type A. So for me, yeah, um, I enjoy the balance, I guess. Like I said, like being a um, being a student athlete, like the most you can do is really just focus on the one thing in front of you. So I really use my time well, I would say, the time that I have to work on assignments and everything, just to stay ahead. If something's challenging and maybe I need a little bit more time, I'll focus on that one thing until I get it done. It's just, I would say, I don't know. It's kind of like when coaches say, one shift at a time, one period at a time, one game at a time. That's kind of how it is for me right now.
I get it. I get it. And you nailed it when you said you like structure. I think most elite athletes like yourself love structure because it's like, okay, I have to do this, this, and this, and then I will get this result. Okay, cool. Tell me what I need to do and I'll do it. And then it's like transitioning to the real world. Now you have all this freedom. And it's like, ooh, like that's a whole other podcast in and of itself, in the sense of, okay, now what do I do? It's on me to create that structure, right? What I did want to ask you is what's next once you graduate?
I've been kind of like weighing the options of playing professionally somewhere, whether it be in um, here or in over in Europe somewhere. So I've kind of been weighing those options. Not sure really what's happening next for me in the sense of hockey, but for sure, my end goal is to become a teacher. So I will be starting to fill out my teachers college applications in the near future. So, but yeah, that's what's
Okay,
next.
so I have to dive into this. You're majoring in kinesiology.
Yeah.
And you want to become a teacher. Talk to me more.
So yeah, undergrad in health science. I wanted a science-based background. Then I'm playing my 5th year of eligibility, but having a master's degree also opens a lot of doors in the education world. And even if I decide to not teach, I have a master's degree. I've also been weighing in strength and conditioning and player development. So that's actually my job currently that I have here in Waterloo. I work at NLPT with PWHL teams and other U18 teams. Yeah, doing strength and conditioning, and I love it. So I feel like just emphasizing my knowledge in that, well, growing my knowledge, I guess, in that sector is like really helping me apply it to what I would like to do probably on the side, because I don't think I will ever not live a life without hockey. So it's been fun. Yeah.
Isn't that funny? Like when hockey has been like your whole life, literally since you were 3 up until now, it's I just want to be involved in some way. And whether you go the strength and conditioning route of helping others, from a physical standpoint to develop, or you get into teaching and maybe that's as a gym teacher. Gym was my favorite class. Like I love gym. Love my teachers, but it's true. And or something else. Like you've given yourself, you've opened up a lot of doors for yourself based on your background and education and what you love. And that's amazing. It truly is. You have a lot of opportunities. And again, if you need help with playing overseas or whatnot, we can help you with that too. We can hook you up with some people over in Switzerland or Finland or wherever it may be. But I gotta ask, looking back on your career to date, like what moments stick out for you the most?
I think the first thing that pops into my head would be my final year that I played in Sudbury. We were national champions, so it was nice to, really have that feeling of being on top, I guess. Obviously still chasing that in university hockey. I'm hoping this year we can finally get what we deserve, but it's that's something that sticks out to me the most, really. Not that it's all about winning, but just being a part of the team that all buys into the same goal. And I would say, like, it's hard to really pick out moments, but in like just being part of a team overall, and all the friends I've made and all the relationships I've that have grown because of a game is it's truly amazing. So it's it's really hard to pick out some key moments, but that would for sure be one of them. It was a memorable year for sure.
It's funny because hockey can take you so many places and obviously help shape you into who you are and create all these moments. And like when I asked that question in my own head, I was like, what would I say? And I'm like, literally, I thought of mini sticks in the hallway. I literally thought of mini sticks in the hallway playing tournaments and
exactly.
And then I won a national championship too with my grade 12 year with the Connecticut Polar Bears. I'm like, that was so cool. And it was just like, it's the exact same thing you said, when you get a group of people that have the same goal and aspirations and dreams, and when it clicks, and that's when you win.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And now that you say mini sticks, growing up, we used to always have, there's a Sudbury Lady Wolves Christmas party, and we used to have it in this hotel. And I don't know if it was the hotel or some parent that would bring up these mini stick boards, and we'd have a mini stick tournament while all the parents were, having their fun.
That water bottle, isn't it?
Yeah, that was a big one too. Every year it was something to look forward to, I guess. So
it absolutely is. And no, I before we wrap up here, I do have to ask, because we're focusing on the university kind of sector of this podcast. If you could give one or more pieces of advice based on your experience, you've been at 3 universities, just to the girls who are currently in high school right now, going through this college university recruiting process, what advice would you give them?
I would say really just enjoy it. First of all, a lot of, like, for me, for instance, when I was going through it, it was easy to get overwhelmed with, this school wants me. Where do I want to go? Do I want to stay in Canada? Do I want to go to the States? So I would really just say, enjoy the moment, like enjoy the journey. It's a long one. It's fun. I would also say to really dress a list of pros and cons of really what you want in a school. My biggest thing is you don't want to end up somewhere just for hockey, because at the end of the day, you are a person. And when hockey is long gone, you're going to be a person who once played hockey and who will be in the professional world and just working, being a grown up. So that's one of my biggest key takeaways from my experience would be to really just, make sure you're going to school and studying the program that you want to. Make sure they offer the program. Make sure where coaches see you, and because some players might be deceived going to a school that, oh, but they said I was going to be on the second line and I'm not on the second line or on first line, whatever. So I think that's important too. If hockey is really that important to you, to really, don't be afraid to ask the hard questions, I would say is a good way to put it. But yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Carley, you're unbelievable. You are going to make waves and strides, and you're going to impact this world in so many beautiful ways. And I believe that now even more after just talking to you and getting to know you even more and everything you've been through. You're a beam of light. You're going to attract people that resonate with you and impact so many people with your story. So never lose your voice, continue to shine. And again, thank you so much for giving me your time. Again, I know you're busy, but we truly appreciate it. And we know that our listeners are going to be grateful for hearing your words. So thank you.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's fun.
I'm happy it was. Now you get back to work, study, play hockey, and go crush this season, okay?
Great. Thanks so much.
All right, you take care.
Bye.